may be headed towards a recession. That's the view that's coming in from the vice chairman of private equity giant Blackstone, John Studzinski. He was speaking to CNBC TV 18's Menaka Doshi at the icy skiing town of Davos a day before the World Economic Summit kicks off. John, who's also a veteran on the Indian market, says there's always an opportunity to make some money in India, provided one chooses the right sector or the state judiciously.
In the pure manufacturing space, you are starting to see the onset of a recession, namely manufactured goods. The amount of output in the United States or in Europe is materially lower over the last 12 months than it was of the previous 12 months. So what I call a manufacturing recession is definitely being witnessed. Now, how that translates into the consumer, I think 2016 you may not see a recession. 2017, the signs are that it could be the case. I think, remember, you also have another concern, which people don't like to discuss, which is, of course, deflation or disinflation, of namely, it's driven in part by commodity prices, all shifting downward. Housing prices in the United States, pretty sound, but you also have a broader concern that the consumer is going to start to save more, and that's going to create a lower demand for the broader consumer space.
Given this context, many in India believe that this is the year India will shine, not just in Davos, but in the global economy. Is that your expectation? You're an old India hand, and you've been watching India very closely for many, many years now. So I'm just curious to know, are we at a tipping point in India? Is this going to be our moment? Because we've asked that question several times before in the last decade.
Well, I know. The old question about emerging markets, are they still emerging or never emerged? I mean, I've been going to India for business for over 25 years. Blackstone's been investing in India, and quite successfully, for over 10 years. We're entering our second decade. Having said that, it's all relative. And as you and I were discussing, from an emerging market peer group, India is going to be an interesting place for capital in certain sectors. But I would say two or three things. Number one, it's going to be on a state-by-state basis. I mean, remember the Gujarat model that Mr. Modi perfected, people are now looking at that model saying what other states can have real proper use of invested capital. Secondly, real estate. We found that real estate has been a very good asset class for Blackstone. And we think certain aspects of technology services, certain aspects of retail could be very attractive.
Okay, there you have it. Real estate, retail, and technology. That's what Blackstone is betting on.